Hi, what's up, guys? It's Fowler, and welcome to the 10th stream for listening to your tracks, the 10th production feedback stream, which is pretty cool that we've been doing this for 10 weeks in a row. I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Pubes McGee, for making this stream possible. Would not be possible without you. So we have 18 songs today. That's a lot. So we're going to hop over and start listening to what you guys have been up to this week. Like always, if you want to take part in future streams and you want to get some extra ears on your tracks, hop over to my Discord server. It's discord.gg/FowlerMusic. And there's instructions there. You can send your tracks in and we'll take a listen. Okay, let's hop over to FL Studio, which is this. Okay, first up, we have a absolute sausage. There we go. Absolute sausage from Rayhem. LX Rayhem. Okay.
What more can she do? What more can she say? She's not ready yet to give up, but she still can't find her way. 20 years since she wrote her first rhyme, and 10 since she turned down the deal that she should have signed. She can't let go, even though she's starting to think that she's delusional. Is she delusional? She's been every coin to her name, but everything stayed the same. She's literally Einstein's definition of insane. I thought she running low. Where fast chasing after the dreams of my past. Always missing that one thing. I lack. It's the best thing that I've planned. It's the best thing that I've planned.
Okay, everything up until that point was really good. And the rest was absolute shit. Just joking. The vocals are a little like too chorusy for my taste, but it's not bad. It's just like a little too like, yeah, I don't know, affected or something. When the drop hits, I feel like the sub bass is in the wrong octave or something, like it's up an octave. And the sidechain is just so aggressive for no reason. Like if we take a look at, especially on the snare. You can really hear like the snare hits, the sidechain ducks, then the snare drops out and the sidechain hasn't come up yet. So there's kind of like this little chunk of time where the sidechain is still really deep in its gain reduction, but the snare has trailed off. But yeah, I think that the biggest thing that I'm missing is just that like bottom octave sub bass right at this point.
It's the best thing that I've
Check 1, 2. Hey, okay. I think we're back. Rayham's track destroyed my audio interface. Okay, let's... Oh my god, it's all working. Okay. Sorry for that little hiccup. It wouldn't be a Fowler stream without a problem. Okay. Yeah, I noticed that the left channel was slightly louder than the right channel, so I went over to adjust the volume slightly, and then the interface went away. Okay, let's keep on listening.
It's the best thing that
Yeah, I think overall, like, this track is just, it's so bright, but we don't have that deep kind of sub bass to balance out the brightness. And I also feel like the main do synth is really fighting with the vocals. Maybe like close the filter off and make it more of a pluck when the vocals are going or something, so that they can cut through the mix a little bit more. It's just, it's so in our face, and then the vocals are just kind of competing with it.
hope so. Yeah, she'll be headline on the world's main stage by now. If dreams come true, she got a house with a pool and an ocean view. Maybe she's up there, but I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Ooh, I've got a ship running now. Where fast chasing after the dreams I've past. Always missing that one thing. It's the best thing that I've had. I've got a ship running now. Where chasing after the dreams I've always missing that one thing. I wish I
Yeah, I think you just need to reimagine your sub range. Some of those notes just feel like they're in the wrong octave to me. But yeah, it's a very cool song. I was really hyped. Everything except the drops hyped me up, but then the lack of sub bass in the drops kind of left me wanting more bass. So great job, Rayham. That was very cool. Good start to the stream. Okay, Eswin said he was going to submit one song, but he submitted another song, so that's offensive. Let's take a listen. Dreamscape. Okay, so right here, where we kind of get the halfway through this intro, I would bring in some little, or not melodic, percussive or rhythmic thing to kind of like make it feel like we're getting somewhere, you know? Like it's really pretty and sounds great, but that, I think it just needs a little something to be like, hey, we're going somewhere. that was definitely not what I was expecting to happen. This is cool though. Yeah, man, it's such a unique like frequency signature of the vocal thing that's the like the pad or the choir kind of vocal thing. It's like very mid-rangey, and I don't mind it. It's I think that maybe chilling those frequencies out just a little bit, and yeah, I think more bass, you're right. Yeah, I think I don't want to lose the character of that weird frequency response, but at the same time, I think there has to be a little bit of technical kind of technique, I guess, put to it, where it's just a little too abrasive in that frequency range, I think. And the kick drum is kind of non-existent. I'm aware that it exists mostly because of the side chaining. But if you just listen to the kick and not the side chaining, it's just kind of like a little, like a thud somewhere. So the drums could be a bit more powerful. I definitely really like the, what is that band, the 1975? It kind of sounds like their style of that, like kind of retro drums, and I like that. But I think the drums could cut through the mix a little bit better so that, yes, we still have that pumping side chain effect, but we are providing a more powerful drum hit for each of those side chains. It's super, super pretty, like very nice chords, very nice sound design. Maybe halfway through the intro, give us a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, let us know that we're going somewhere with some rhythm and with some pace. And maybe try some better drums and chill out those high mid frequencies. Very cool. Moving on. All right, we got Grimm, Garrix Brooks remake, IDFC. Okay, right off the bat, this kind of reminds me of Crazy Frog, and I'm okay with it. This feels very scooped. I think it's a combination of the clap. The clap kind of sounds scooped, like it kind of sounds hollowed out in the mid range, and also you've got this big sub Reese bass, and you've got like this aliased kind of downsampled pluck sound that has a bunch of sparkle in the top end from the aliasing, and there's not a whole lot of stuff in the middle, in the mid-range. Okay, I think I skipped over some stuff. Okay, so the first drop is pretty good. It sounds pretty good to me. There's something a little off about the kick drum, I think. I don't know. It's kind of hard to put my finger on it. Maybe the kick could use a little bit more top end or something like that. I don't know. It's subtle. This little area could probably use a little bit more effects and whatnot. It just seemed a little plain or bare to me. That part was really cool. I don't know if you said it's a remake, so maybe that's just the way the song goes, but like that part is the coolest part so far. Like I love that lead. Whoops. That's my favorite part of the song so far. I feel like that should come in here, but again, I don't know where it's a remake, so. Like what? Where did it go? That was the coolest thing and it's gone. Like that is the coolest thing. And it just came in for a few seconds and then left. And I can tell, obviously this is a work in progress, but like, man, I would base the song around that. Mix and mastered sounds pretty decent, honestly. I don't really have any major concerns. My biggest concern is just that part was so cool, and why isn't it in the other parts of the songs? That's, I guess, my main note. So good job, cool. Let's move on. Westbrook, Blade Runner. Okay, I'm supposed to say something about sheep or androids or something. I don't remember. So far, this is really good. I was almost bored before the drop hit. Almost. Not quite, but getting there.
Come with me.
I feel like the kick needs more clear of a transient. It kind of sounds like if I plugged my ears and somebody knocked on my head. That's what this kick reminds me of. And I think, oh, there's a ladybug. I think it could use more of a click or a sharper transient. What is that note? I'm like 100% on board with this entire track except that one note. It sounds like there's a Frenchman playing an accordion and he fucked up. Like, I like the wonkiness of the timing and stuff, but that one note, I mean, hey, if you like it, then you go, girl. This is really, really good. I think this is my favorite thing I've heard you make so far. Besides maybe the kick and the snare having a bit sharper of a transient, and then obviously like it needs mastering, it needs to be more powerful and loud. Besides that, I'm just like, I don't know, it's really good. I think you should just try and get the sharpness of the drums, because you got a lot of this kind of, it's not dull, but it's messy, right? But in a good way. But the kick and the snare should cut through that mess and kind of define the rhythm clearly. And I just think that where it's the kick and the snare both don't have a ton of high end, I think that you're kind of missing out on the punchiness there. Yeah, this is really good, man. Good job. Okay, moving on. And I know I didn't tweet about the stream or really announce it anywhere except Discord. That's just how I roll sometimes. Okay, this one is Walford Hailstorm. This is definitely wacky. There's some wacky stuff happening. I think my biggest note right now about this, is that there's a lot of stuff happening on top of each other. It's almost like you just kept piling stuff on. At a certain point, you got to stop piling stuff on. You got to start clearly defining certain sections of the song and taking parts out. I feel like there's a lot of stuff on top of each other. Because I'm hearing like that kind of chiptune bloop boop thing, but it's barely hearable. It's barely audible, I guess is probably the better word to use. And yeah, like Raham says, there's no definable main element. Like I like some of the elements that are in there, but it's just all on top of each other. I think that's the biggest thing. So what you can do is save it as a new version if you're scared of messing up the project or whatever. Save it as a new version and just kind of rip it apart, delete a bunch of stuff, move things around, mute things. Just mess around until something maybe sticks out at you. Sometimes, like, if I'm writing something I don't have a clear vision, I'm just waiting for the vision to present itself to me. So I'm muting things, I'm deleting things, I'm throwing stuff around here and that, and then maybe I hear two things that go together in a certain way, and now that's the thing, and I didn't even plan it, it just happened. So sometimes having like your mute button and your delete key, you know, that can be the most creative tool that you have. There's also some dissonance in the low end. I don't know if it's the kick and the sub bass. Yeah, I really do think that you just got to go back, and now you've got a lot of cool elements in your track, but now you have to go back and use those elements in the most efficient way to convey an idea, convey a journey from the start to the end of the song. You know, introducing elements maybe one by one, pulling things out so that other elements can breathe and cut through the mix a little bit better. Yeah, the sub range is a little messy too, but I think the biggest thing that you would gain out of this is just go back, try and pick some main elements and plan out the song a little bit better instead of just throwing all the elements at us kind of at once. All right, moving on. Cool. Vorticity. I think I never know how to say that. Malfunction. Okay, first thought is that this section is too long. You basically do the exact same thing twice. It's cool, but it's kind of redundant at that point.
Boot sequence interrupted.
Okay, so lots of cool sound design. The thing that kind of sticks out to me in the drop is the snare is a little long, maybe. Like it's like it rings out a little too long. I would maybe make it a bit shorter, a bit tighter. Yeah, I think the snare should be tighter. Also, this... There's a lot of background elements just kind of like chugging along, and that's good for atmosphere, and I probably should put more of them in my tracks. But my personal taste is there's some choppy bits, but they're kind of half-cocked choppy bits. Like, they're choppy, but you still have the sustain and the delay and all the atmosphere underneath of it, which kind of dilutes the choppiness, if that makes sense. Yeah, I would to get those kind of turnaround sections and little fills and doodads that make this genre cool. I think having the ability to mute like the reverb tails and delays and stuff, just like mute stuff so that you can really get those chops and the little ninja slices in real tight and lots of space in between them might help. And the more I hear that snare, the more I dislike it. Like every time it hits, I like it a little bit less. Yeah, okay, so I think, wow, I thought, and now I'm not thinking. The complextro style, I think you need to commit a little bit more to the complextro, because it's choppy, but not quite choppy enough, and I think it mostly is the little dingle dangles in the background that are just kind of going, and that, like I said before, dilutes the choppiness. But biggest thing is that snare, and snare sound is such a big important part of this style. I think you gotta maybe just audition some different snares or shorten this one, tune it up. There's lots of things. You might be able to make this the perfect snare for this song, but you might also just audition 15 more snares, and the 15th one, you're like, wow, that sounds way better. So yeah, cool. Good job. That was sick. Timores. My ears, they bleed, my ears, they bleed, my ears, they bleed. This reminds me of that Beatles Christmas song, but in hell, maybe? Like the simply having a terrible Christmas time. Okay. I mean, hey, I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying that it sounds like the Beatles or the John Lennon Christmas song. Yeah, Wonderful Christmas Time, but it sounds like it's in hell. This has character. It's very I think the chords are maybe a bit spicy, maybe a bit too spicy. They kind of sound like oops. This thing has like the seventh chords, and sometimes if you just like mash these, that's what it kind of reminds me of. So I think the chord progression is a little too spicy for me anyway. And they're quite dense in the low end, but considering this is your first ever FL Studio creation, I would say you're doing a good job. The drums also kind of sound like did you make this song on this Omnichord? Okay, gotcha. Yeah. I don't know what to say. It's a very interesting chord progression, and I think you should continue on your journey to mastering FL Studio. Cool. Let's move on. Oh, I got 2 from you. So this is the more recent one, I'm assuming. Oh, this could be cool. We're gonna see the first one they made, and now the most recent one they made. So far, this is much better. Okay, so the bass, the notes you're playing on the bass in the second half of the measure is good. The first notes are like, I was on board when I heard that. I was like, oh, this is kind of grungy, you know, I like it. But I don't even really know what notes you're playing in this section. It just kind of sounds like so maybe go up an octave. I will definitely give you this. You have provided the most spicy chord progressions so far today. The snare, I think, is too quiet. It's very weak, like it's very almost in the background. Music to iron your cat to. Wow. That's a cool vibe. I like the vibe. Some of the note choices are a little iffy. Music to stretch your grandma. What the like all those notes that just happen, good. But I think the notes aren't bad. I think it was just because it went down so low that I couldn't really hear the notes. I think that was the main problem. But if you had like a punchier like hip hop snare in this, it would be a lot more forgivable. So like, I don't know, let's just grab fat snares. Sure, let's try this one. First one. Wow, it'd help if I could put it in the right spot. I mean, you get the idea. I don't know what the tempo is. I'm just kind of laying them in by hand. Get a better snare. Try avoiding those notes that are so low that we're just kind of hearing the click of the sawtooth when it goes down at the end of each cycle, right? I think that's my two main notes for this one. But it's a cool vibe, and definitely a massive step up from your first one. So you're going in the right direction, which is always good. All right, next up we got T-Timers, Troll, all uppercase Troll. Let me just, yeah, okay. Okay, he said I missed the whole second part of the drops. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna go back because I feel bad. Are you talking about like here? And yes, I agree that when you go up to those higher notes, it sounds better because we can actually hear those where the notes were too low. But my notes remain the same. I felt bad that I skipped over the parts. I hope that those were the parts you're talking about. I do agree that it sounds better in those sections, but still, my notes still apply. Okay, now we go back to the T-Timers. Whoopsies.
In my neck from head banging the T-Timers. Okay. I think this drop should be like Bing Bob. my neck, kink in my neck. I got a I got a kink in my neck from head banging to tea timers. Bing bong.
Yeah, that was dope. That was quite the journey. I think the vocals could be more compressed. They kind of poked out a bit to me.
I got a kink in my neck from head banging to tea timers.
I don't really have many notes on this one though. It's pretty dope.
I got a kink in my
Yeah, I think maybe, or even just like de-essing. Maybe it's just a de-essing thing. There's some consonants that you say when you have it turned up loud, and those consonants are like straight in my ears.
I got a kink in my
Yeah, kink, the K and kink, the first one.
I got a kink in my neck from head banging to tea timers.
I also liked how we can clearly hear the melody in this first part. I feel like some of the drops that melody, it's kind of buried. But yeah, I'm kind of nitpicking at this point because like the track is great. I expected nothing less when I saw that you submitted something. So great job. This is a dope track. There's been some good suggestions in chat. My biggest thing is just that K for kink. It was a little sharp in my ears. That was about it. And then I really want to hear that melody throughout the song. Arrangement wise, I feel like you're maybe not done the arrangement. It's not even 3 minutes long.
Wait. I think this drop should be like.
Yeah, I mean, like the drops are all really impressive and sound really good. I want maybe the guitar to come back or something. Like it kind of feels like a collection of really good drops. So maybe, like bring the guitar back in halfway through or something. I think you just need to continue writing it as a song. You have really good material to work with. The drops are dope, but just continue writing it as a song and maybe bring us back to this guitar part because it was dope. But then it kind of just happened and then we didn't get the guitar for the rest of the song. So those are basically my notes on that one. Not really much because it sounds great. Okay, moving on. This looks very pokey. Subskyle, a very tropical summer. I wonder if those are pluck sounds.
Now that's bass.
Okay, so at the first here,
Now that's bass.
like Graham says, now that's bass, but then there's no bass. Like, I don't know if that's maybe like a tongue-in-cheek thing to do, but I feel like if you're gonna say now that's bass, we should have some bass. So where were we? This has got some like Africa vibes or something. Okay, so here's the thing. Melodically, this is cool. I like it. It's like a steel drum or something. Yes, it's very tropical, but we don't have any bass. we don't, I feel like we need a kick. Like, let me just try something real quick. Let's figure out what tempo this is. We'll just start here. Let's just see what it could sound like with like a kick drum. Okay, it's definitely not 182. It's probably 123, 124. Yeah, I mean, like the progression, the notes are great. It's just like the lack of drums and bass and stuff. It just kind of sounds like something that you would maybe I don't know. It sounds like something you would sample and then turn into a track. So like, I'm just gonna take 2 minutes and just try this. So let's solo this. Cause it kind of sounds like that tropical kind of boom dip boom dip boom, whatever that rhythm is. I don't know, I'm sure it has a name. Okay, I'm kind of choking on this. Where would I find a good not a snare? Sure. And again, this is just real rough. I'm just trying to see. Okay, and then let's put a sub bass. Of course, my keyboard isn't plugged in. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not a bass. Okay, and then we get a sub bass, and let's see. Whoops. I don't really know what kind of pattern. Like, okay, yeah, but still, it definitely has more elements. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's mostly the fact that the drums are so just kind of basic, and they feel like kind of like a fill or something more than a beat. So yeah, I think the strength of this is that nice tropical steel drum thing. I would go listen to some other tracks in that style to get some inspiration for the drums specifically, and also maybe for the bass. Maybe it's a pluck bass, maybe there's a 808 bass or something. Just go listen to some tropical stuff and then try out some of the things they do. I'm not saying you should copy stuff, but you know, go and get inspired. Cool, let's move on. So we got Singe. Numb remix. Oh god, here we go. Let's make sure I don't have any mastering stuff on. Yeah.
I won't stick around for you to play all my life away. Tricking with your promises that change every single day, breaking me into 1,000 shades. You had me floating away. I won't stick around for you to play. If I stick around,
This is cool, but the sub bass is literally 100 times too loud. Yeah, like I actually really like the weirdness of this, but what I don't like is the fact that when this first came in, I think I levitated off of my seat due to sound pressure levels. That is a lot of sub bass. Like, look at the spectrum, over here. like I like this as a concept. There are some problems, mainly that sub bass. That is the biggest thing that is holding this back, because I can't even really hear what is going on. I can just feel my body vibrating. Yeah, everything else is like really let's see where, oh, whoops. Like right off the bat, me just grabbing and reducing like the bass down a bunch with that multi-band compressor and then limiting to bring everything back up, it already sounds 10 times better, right? So I don't know if maybe you don't have a sub and that's why you weren't aware that the sub range is so loud, but if you get a program like Blue Cat's Frequency Analyst, you can kind of visually see kind of approximate how loud the different frequency ranges are, and then take it to different sound systems, your car, your buddy's four-wheeler with the expensive, sound package. It's so crazy that you can buy four-wheelers with like surround sound now. Anyway, that's a tangent. Yeah, I would do that. I like where this is going though. I think it's a cool idea. I think it's a cool start. I would definitely reduce the sub bass. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Paranerd, we got Mr. Analog Gear here with us, ready to go. Okay, this sounds like, bear with me for a sec, hear me out. That synth that came in sounds like, okay, so there's this bird, right? And it's like, I don't know, like a crane, like a big bird. And it has a bunch of baby birds. And one of the baby birds got into a fight with another baby bird from a different family, and the mother bird is yelling at that other baby bird for getting into a fight with her baby bird. That's what that synth sounds like. Like she's really giving it a piece of her mind, like she's really like, why do you think you could do the blah, blah, like just going off. Mix-wise, I think the sub range is a little bit too loud in this. Besides that, I mean, it's, yeah. I'm just like picturing like a fish underwater and its mouth is going now the father bird has arrived. And the mother bird's like the father bird's giving the little bird a piece of his mind, and the mother bird's just like, you know? Okay, now this part makes me realize that they're not in a park, they're actually in a factory and they're making license plates. So for some reason, there's a bunch of birds with their children in a factory making license plates, and there's bullies amongst the children birds, and the parent birds have to get mad and discipline the birds. And now everybody's gone home except the father bird because he has to get caught up on his license plate making because he took so much time to berate the little bird. And that was him throwing the last license plate in the pile and going home. Okay, great song. Sub-range a little loud. That's the only feedback I have because it's dope. Okay, moving on. We got Orchestrate Ravage. That ringtone beat. It does kind of have a bit of a ringtone vibe to it.
Let's go.
Excuse me?
Let's go.
This is really weird, and I like it.
Let's go.
I think it does need... okay, so it's weird, and the production is weird. I think the production needs to just be pulled back a little bit towards the realm of making sense. Like, it needs a bit of side chaining, you know? That thing is clipping. Yeah, and then like Doofy says, it's missing risers and just kind of like the polished stuff. But like, I think you have a real wonky donker here. So I would definitely keep wonkying it up. But just, yeah, sidechain would be nice.
Let's go.
And then embrace the weirdness, I guess. I would embrace the weirdness on this, but you definitely gotta adhere to some, you know, rules. Like, yeah, sidechaining some of this stuff is just going to make the master limiter be a lot happier. So... I like how this one cycle is louder than the rest for some reason. Yeah, I guess just I don't know. I guess sidechain. Sidechain is my main thing because I could tell right off the bat we're clipping. And I know, like, I hear, like, you know, those like TikTok trap songs where everything's just like maybe that's a thing. I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me, but if you don't want it to do that, I would definitely be a little bit more conscious of what's happening in your master bus, what's happening in your master limiter. Are you getting all kinds of gain reduction when something happens? And if so, try and fix that in the mix so that you can hit the master limiter fairly hard without, I don't know, without distortion happening, I guess. But yeah, this is a wonky donker. Please continue. All right, next up, Nitro, Life at the Pool. Okay, while I listen to this one, I'm going to go 5 feet that way and pee because I have to pee, and I'm going to pee because I got to pee.
Had to start when I was pissing.
No!
Had to start when I was pissing.
What? How is that possible? I swear to God, I haven't listened to any of these before. I swear to God that I have not listened to these before. What are the chances of that happening? Okay, this is perfect. This is the perfect song to piss to.
Had to start when I was pissing. Is a platypus more of a duck or a beaver? I believe it's more of a duck, right? It's like furry like a beaver.
Wow! Wow! That was crazy. That was insane. Okay.
I believe it's more of a duck, right?
This is dope. Like, I don't even really know. I think all you got to do is like continue making this a song because it's really good, but we basically just have like a drop. We need to have some more stuff. I still just can't believe that I chose this song to go to P2. I did wash my hands. See, they're still kind of wet. God, why do you guys always call me out on this? I always wash my hands. Yeah, I don't really have any negative thoughts on this besides make it a song instead of a small section of amazing sounding music. That's dope. Continue. All right, here we go. We're getting down there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Water piss on your hands. Okay, so I think a couple things. The first thing that I think is the vocals are a bit like low, like the low mids of them are, it's kind of boxy, like it's like that sound is a little bit too loud. It could just be a little bit of a EQ dip in the low end, like kind of the fundamental of her voice could be a little bit lower. Yeah, this is a mix from I think the first stream that we did, or maybe the second or something. From what I remember, it is a step in the right direction. I think the kick drum, or just the drums in general, are underneath everything. And yeah, I agree with Doofy. The composition and the progression, like musically, it's dope. I think the drums are not punching through at all. Especially the kick drum. The kick drum is kind of buried. Also, arrangement-wise, I'm not quite sure what this section is. And that's not to say that you always have to have, this is the verse, this is the build-up, but maybe it's just because the drums aren't very loud. And it's also a very short section, so I'm not really sure what the purpose of this section is. There's some really low frequency something happening. If I listen to just you can submit on my Tico, you can submit on my Discord server and I will put it in for next week. I gather everything up until about 4 p.m. The day of, and then those are the tracks we use. Anyway, let's get back to this. There's something in the very low end, especially right here. It's like 0 hertz. Like it's seriously low. I don't know what it is. I can't quite figure it out. There's something clashing in the very sub range. It could be as simple as maybe like if your sub bass has a filter envelope, maybe the filter moving is causing when you move a filter, you shift the frequency a little bit. It could be something like that, but there is something thudding around in the and I'm talking like very bottom, almost inaudible frequency range. I don't know, the bass sound is maybe a little too plain Jane for me. Like maybe it could have a little bit of more distortion. It just kind of sounds like a sawtooth or yeah, it sounds like a sawtooth to me. So maybe there is some cool there's definitely some cool sound design and stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't say high pass the entire mix. I would try to identify all of the elements that are contributing to that very bottom end and then make sure they're all in order and they're all agreeing with each other. And it could very possibly just be, like I said, sometimes if you have a sub bass, even if you low pass it and you don't really hear much of the filter sound, the fact that the filter is moving up and down is going to phase shift the signal. So it could cause it to be a little wonky. But I think from what I can remember, this is definitely a step up from the last time. Yeah. I would just... I'd take a look at that very bottom end stuff and then continue it because it's not finished. I would probably prioritize making the song over perfecting all of these. Like get the song fleshed out, make it a song, make the arrangement, then go back and fix all that stuff. Otherwise, you'll probably just spin your tires in these two sections forever and spend countless hours trying to perfect them, and then you don't even have a song because it's not long enough, right? So if I were you, I would maybe take a break from trying to get the mix and master and production all proper and just fill the song out and then go back and fix the problems. But cool track. Thanks for sending. Okay, we got a short one here. We got King Dirty Bleep. This is, it's like, this is fucking weird. But I would rather listen to some fucking weird shit like this than like a cookie cutter dubstep track. You know what I mean? Like, this is interesting to me. It's strange. Music to relax and unwind to, music to serial kill to. Like, it kind of okay, wait. I gotta formulate this metaphor before I deliver it. Okay, the thing that's playing the same the same note. It sounds like a really disappointed android expressing their disappointment. Like that's like the android version of somebody saying meh. I'm not saying that the sound is meh. It just sounds like an android expressing their disappointment. I guess my biggest notes on this one is if you're gonna go weird, and this is weird. Let's not beat around the bush. This is weird. Take it all the way and make this into a weird song. I mean, right now you got a beat, and that's cool, but it's hard to really critique this as a track. When it's only what 10 seconds, 26 seconds long, right? And I hope you're not taking any of this weird talk or it's a robot door salesman and a disgruntled homeowner robot. Like, don't take offense to that. We're just joking around, but it is weird. Keep being weird. I like it. I like weird shit like this. I would and that's a good point. Look at some Tisoki stuff for reference. Yeah. I would say kind of the same note as last track, fill this song out into a song and then go back and, try to lay out an arrangement instead of just a beat. Otherwise, you're just going to, not to call you out again, Eswin, but you're going to spin your tires on the same 8 bars forever and ever and ever. So try to flesh it out, try to get an interesting arrangement and stay weird, pony boy. All right, Jetpack. Literally the first file that I opened on my computer that was good enough to play on stream. Have fun listening. Cool. What? I mean, that's cool. That first snare. Oh, I like that first snare. Shout out Christina Applegate. I think there is a lot of reverb that is getting a lot of compressed. Like, I wonder what that high slap thing would be like if it didn't have... Oh, that's so much better. Wait. Oh, yeah, you gotta do this. That's so good. You gotta chop it up. I also agree with T-Timers. It does sound like the master has reverb on it. I don't think it does, but it does sound like that. Shout out Eileen Dover. Shout out Eileen Dover. Really? Okay. Cool, Jetpack. I would get a bit more choppy. Get a little maybe drier. I feel like the whole thing is too reverby. And it's losing that kind of, like, don't get me wrong. This snare with the reverb. I love that chop so much. Please chop that. I will pay you $100. I'm just joking. I won't. But chop it up, please. All right. That's very cool. Now, finishing off. Oh, whoa. Finishing off this week's stream, we're going to listen to Hyreth Inc. Twin Soul. Shout out Fowler Music. Shout out Barry McCocker. Yeah.
The lights we made have shimmered out. Your name is vanished from my memory, lost in the darkness of our future. Oh yeah, I was found.
Okay, my first note. Very cool. First note. Least put a crash or a swoosh or something. I feel like we just backed up here and started over again. Like I feel like we were trying to go somewhere, but we just got pushed back 5 steps. So or like bring in a shake or something. There's got to be something. You got to give us something new at that moment, especially when you do the little pause. Yeah. You got it. It's almost illegal not to.
Endlessly ripping through my memories. Am I running out of time?
Borderline angry with you right now.
Will I ever see you again? Or were you just a fleeting memory? Will I ever see you again? Just a guardian
We're all about to fail No Nut November.
angel.
Okay, that was really cool. I always like the stuff you send in. They're all very unique and they sound like you, which is cool. Obviously, I don't think we need to talk about this anymore. Just fuck off with this. Like, come on, give us something. You got to give us something. It's too much. It's too much teasing. I'm kind of torn. So the track is very soft in the top end. Like there's not a ton of top end high frequency stuff going on. But I kind of like it. It's got character. But I think it needs to just come a little bit closer to normal amounts of high end. Edge step. Oh my God. That's funny. I feel like there's that when does the bass drop thing by The Lonely Island that already has that covered. Okay. I do think that it just needs a bit more top end, and it's also very kind of gently, even though it is quite hard limited. Yeah, I think the I think the bass is a little too heavy, and that is really stopping you from being able to master the track louder. The track, not that this track has to be, you know, Jack U levels of loudness, but you can see when the bass isn't being played. It's just, I think yeah, I think the bass is just a little too loud, which is going to limit how loud you can get the master. That, and just try to find like that, I don't know what it is. It's like it almost sounds like a C64 synth that I use sometimes, Basic 64. It's got like it's like a sawtooth that's being FM'd by white noise. That's what it sounds like to me. That the higher thing that's following the bass line, that could have a bit more air to it. And I think that would maybe give the track a bit more top end. If we look at the frequency spectrum here. Also, I don't know about the vocals going the entire time. I would maybe maybe hold off on the vocals, like maybe give us little stabs and stuff and let us focus on the beat for a second, then bring the vocals back in, and then maybe combine them or something. I know that, you know, just based on the size and shape of this track, it's a very much a work in progress, but it's super cool. Don't edge us as much in the intro. Add some brightness. Maybe push the vocal off and let us enjoy the beat, because the vocals, they're not really adding a whole lot, because I can't really understand what she's saying during these parts, because we got like the super thick bass coming through and the vocals just kind of auto-tuning along with it, right? So maybe drop the vocals, just have the beat go. Yeah, or even just having like, I think she's saying, "I'll never see you again" or something. Just have that line, because it's all delayed and there's the hard auto-tune kind of pitch shifts and stuff that are happening, and it's all very busy and complex, and then you have delay on top of that. So you got these like complex sharp pitch things being delayed all around, and they're just kind of messing up the beat at this point. So yeah, those are my thoughts. It's very cool. Yeah. Very cool. I like. All right, guys and girls. Thanks for joining me on this adventure, hanging out and listening to what you guys been up to this past week. I always enjoy hearing your unique, weird, and wacky tracks. It's way better than going on Spotify and trying to dig through all of the hundreds of thousands of tracks that are uploaded every day. And I hope that between my feedback and the people in the chat's feedback, you get some good get some good perspective. Always follow your heart. Don't ever just follow what we have to say, because we are just people as well with opinions. Hope you all have a good weekend. I love you. Thank you, Pubes McGee, for the sponsorship. This stream, I don't know how I would do it without you. 5, 6. I don't know why we're counting in chat. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Okay, cool. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up. I'm going to go eat food and hopefully not expire from hunger. So you guys have a good weekend, and I will see you next week.